video. It's your girl Maya, and you know if you're here, I got another video that's going to resonate with you like my other videos do. Our topic today is why relationship goals don't mean the same thing when you're healing. Let me ask you a question real quick. Have you ever looked back at your old relationship goals and thought to yourself, yeah, I would absolutely not want that now. Like the things that used to excite you, they don't even move you anymore. The things that you once prayed for now feel exhausting, and the relationships you used to romanticize now look very different through your healed eyes. There was a time when relationship goals felt loud. They felt exciting. They felt urgent. And now maybe they feel quieter. Maybe they feel slower. Maybe they feel like they're more intentional. And that shift can feel confusing because you start to wonder to yourself if something is wrong with you. And if you are being too picky, or if you're asking for too much, or even if you're just tired. So I recently watched the movie Relationship Goals on Prime Video starring Kelly Rowland and Method Man. And what stood out to me immediately is that this is a faith-based movie. It is a movie for the people. It is one of those films that meets you where you are, especially if you are navigating love, healing, and a real life with God in the middle of it. Instead of wanting to break the movie down scene by scene, it made me pause hold up. There was moments where I literally stopped and sat there yeah, this is exactly why healing changes how you see love. And it's not because the love is not real, but because the readiness is not always there. When you are healing, relationship goals stop being about aesthetics and start being about alignment. They stop being about attention and start being about emotional safety. They stop being about intensity and start being about peace. And that shift lines up so much with faith because God is not the author of confusion. He is a God of peace, clarity, and order. And the truth is that shift can feel so lonely. It can feel isolating. It can feel like you are outgrowing the version of love that you once understood without fully knowing what the new version looks like yet. But sometimes God allows that discomfort because He is refining your desires and realigning your heart. So today, I want to talk about why relationship goals do not mean the same thing when you are healing, and why what you once wanted no longer fits. Why peace starts to feel more attractive than intensity, and why that does not mean you are asking for too much. If you are becoming her and love feels different right now, this conversation is for you, sister girl. Number one, when relationship goals were about being seen, chosen, and proved. Let me take it all the way back for a second. Before healing, relationship goals, they were loud, they were flashy, they were very much about being seen and being chosen. But relationship goals meant someone posting you, or maybe even prioritizing you publicly and making it clear that you were wanted. It was less about how that relationship felt behind closed doors and more about how it looked to other people. A lot of us, we were chasing that reassurance without even realizing it. We wanted those good morning texts, that constant communication, that intense connection because it made us feel secure, even if it was temporary. And attention felt like love. Validation felt like commitment, and aesthetics felt like stability. If it looked good online, we assume it must be good in real life. But there were moments in a movie where love was being expressed very loudly and very publicly. And I remember thinking to myself, this looks good, but does it actually feel good? Because healed love doesn't need to prove itself that hard. We also confuse emotional intensity with depth. And if it felt strong, if it felt fast, or even if it felt overwhelming, we assumed it was special. We thought anxiety meant passion and inconsistency meant excitement. We romanticized struggle because that chaos, it felt familiar. We stayed in situations longer than we should have because the highs felt worth the lows. There were scenes where conflict kept repeating over and over, but instead of slowing down and addressing the root, things just kept moving forward like love alone would fix it. And that really stood out to me because effort without emotional work is just motion. It's not growth. And let us be honest for a second. Some of us did not want peace back then because peace felt unfamiliar and that chaos felt normal. Emotional ups and downs felt like connections. We were not asking whether the relationships were healthy. We were asking whether it made us feel chosen or if it made us feel wanted or validated. Looking back now, some of those relationship goals were rooted in unmet needs. We wanted someone else to confirm our worth because We had not learned how to do that ourselves yet. And that does not make us weak. It makes us human. Healing starts when you can look at your past desires with compassion instead of shame. Number 2, healing changes what you crave in love. Healing does not just change how you date. It changes what your body responds to. Things that once excited you start feeling overwhelming. Things that once felt boring start to feel calming. And that shift can be confusing, especially when you are not used to calm. So when you are healing, relationship goals start to shift towards emotional safety. You want consistency instead of intensity. You want clarity instead of guessing, playing that guessing game. You want communication instead of chemistry alone. And you start paying attention to how someone makes your nervous system feel, not just how they make your heart race. There was a moment in the movie that would have excited the old me, and watching it now, my body literally, it tensed up so bad. I caught myself thinking, yeah, I don't like that anymore. And that was such a clear sign that healing had changed me, because peace becomes attractive, maturity becomes attractive, and someone who can regulate their emotions becomes attractive. Someone who follows through becomes attractive. Someone who does not make you question your worth becomes attractive. You stop wanting to be consumed by love and wanting to be supported by it. You stop wanting relationships that drain you, and you start wanting ones that give you room to breathe. Healing teaches you that love should not cost you your sense of self. Here's the funny part. When you first experience healthy love or healthy connection, you might question it at first. You might wonder if something is missing. You might think it feels too calm, and that's usually when you realize how much survival mode shaped your idea of romance. Healing is learning that calm does not mean boring, it means safe. Number 3, wanting love versus being ready for love. One thing the movie made me reflect on is how many people want love, but they're not ready for that love. That's not judgment. This is awareness. Wanting love is natural, but being ready for love, that is intentional. Readiness requires that self-awareness. It requires emotional responsibility, and it requires the ability to communicate, to be able to repair, and to be able to grow. And some people want that companionship without accountability. They want intimacy without vulnerability. They want commitment but without consistency. And there were clear moments in the movie where love was present but readiness was not. And that distinction matters so much, because love alone does not sustain a relationship. Capacity does. And healing makes you stop asking whether someone wants you and start asking whether they are capable of loving you well. Desire is not the same as capacity. Chemistry is not the same as character. And healing gives you the discernment to tell the difference. This is where we stop romanticizing potential. We stop dating who someone could be, and we start paying attention to who they are showing us that they can consistently be. Healing is choosing reality over that fantasy, even when fantasy feels more exciting. There were moments where optimism kept things going longer than honesty should have. And healing teaches you that honesty is kinder than hope that ignores red flags. You realize that love should not require constant patience for basic respect. You realize that effort should not be begged for. You realize that readiness shows up in actions and not promises. Stop begging, sis. Number 4, being chosen is not the same as being aligned. This shift right here is life-changing. Before healing, being chosen felt like the goal. It felt like winning. It felt like proof that we were enough. But healing teaches you that being chosen does not automatically mean being aligned. Someone can choose you and still disrupt your peace. Someone can want you and still not be emotionally safe. Someone can love you and still not be able to meet you where you are. And there was a moment in the movie where someone was clearly chosen, but not emotionally protected. And that really hit me, because so many of us equate being picked with being cared for, and those are not the same thing. Alignment is about shared values, emotional maturity, about your faith and direction. It is about whether your lives actually fit together and not just whether you like each other. Alignment feels calm. It feels mutual. It feels grounded. And when you are healing, you stop asking why someone does not choose you, and you start asking whether choosing them will require you to shrink, settle, or self-abandon. You stop chasing affection and start protecting your peace. That healing, it shifts the question from, do they want me to Does this align with the life I am building? Healing teaches you that what is meant for you will not require you to abandon yourself. It will meet you in clarity and not confusion, in consistency and not chaos. Number 5, redefining relationship goals while becoming her. So if relationship goals look different to you now, this is not regression, that is evolution. You are not becoming harder, you are becoming wiser, and you are not asking for less, you are asking for better, sis. Becoming her means redefining love through a healed lens. It means choosing emotional safety, readiness, alignment, and peace. It means trusting that God is more concerned with your wholeness than your relationship status. So watching a movie, I realized that if I had seen it years ago, I would have wanted a very different outcome. And that is how I know growth has happened. If love feels quieter now, let it. Quiet love is often the kind that lasts. And if you are waiting, if you are healing, or if you are discerning, trust that this season is doing important work in you. You are not behind, you are becoming. Alright, y'all, if this video resonated with you, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.